So in this video today, I want to talk about what I truly think is one of the most underrated investments in the entire CS2 investing scene. It's not like a super big secret. There's definitely people out there that know about it. Some of you will maybe, know about this and know it very, very well and be implementing this strategy a ton. But for some of you, I think this will be truly eye-opening. And over the past, 6 months or so, I've been looking more and more into this item class, and it has personally opened my eyes to how I was absolutely sleeping on these items as a home run CS2 investment, and I'm beginning to add them to my portfolio, from this point going forward after I've realized just how amazing they are. So we're going to be talking about all of that and more in this video today. But of course, first, just wanted to plug my cash trading business. If you guys are looking to sell any of your CS2 items, turn them into cold hard cash, crypto, or any other payment method, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below. I buy pretty much anything and everything for the right price, but of course, we like to get those bigger deals done. So if you have, gloves, knives, expensive skins, you want to sell an entire inventory, you want to sell bulk cases, whatever, I would love to help you get those bigger deals done safely, effectively, and efficiently. And if you're selling to me, you're helping support me, my channel, and my content, which of course I would appreciate a ton. With that being said, let's get right into this video today. So why am I showing you this right here? This is the AK-47 slate in field tested. I have it on the 1-year chart right now, most importantly because AK-47 slate, you can see here, it's the snakebite collection. The snakebite case was going from active duty to the rare drop pool about a year ago at this point. It's been a little bit more than a year. I believe it was in February of 2023 or 2024. Obviously, we are now in March of 2025, so like 13 months. This is only going to give us 12 months, but it'll tell most of the story. In the AK-47 slate, this is a cool skin. It's one that has definitely increased in popularity over like the past year. People are really, really liking this thing. I think at some points people are like, oh, it's just like an all black, it's bland, whatever. But crafting has become way cooler and way bigger part of the scene over the past couple of years. I do feel like, especially with the 5x crafting update and being able to move crafts all over the place, that's been like a huge buff for the AK-47 slate. And yeah, people just start liking crafts more. You also have all the new stickers from the armory and stuff like that. So there are some things helping out the slate in its favor, but man, look at this, up 74%. This is just the AK-47 slate in field tested. This thing has gone from $2.86 up to $4.97. Now, the reason why is this thing has some things going for it. Like I said, it's an AK skin. It's very, very craftable. It's had increased popularity, but also it is a part of the snakebite case, which went from active duty to rare, and it's trade up fodder. So also it's not dropping as often since it went from an active duty case to a rare case. So that's going to help out the fundamentals. And like I said, it can also be used for trade up. So the supply is actually decreasing on it overall, or at least in theory could potentially be decreasing. And that is very, very good for it. Now, this is interesting to show because usually for trade up fodder, being like a play skin, being a skin that's kind of expensive and that people actually like to use is usually bad because people are less likely to trade up with something that's more expensive, that something that they actually want to use as a play skin, whatever. But that hasn't stopped the AK-47 slate. So overall, I'm just showing you guys how good trade up skins can be from cases that are in the rare drop pool or cases that have newly gone from the active duty to the rare drop pool. Even something like the AK-47 slate, you can see has done about 74% in the past year. Now, how many items in your inventory or your portfolio or your investments haven't increased 74% in the past year, or have increased less, or maybe even been flat or decreased or whatever? We can also look at stuff like the PP Bison Night Riot. This is a completely random skin from the Clutch collection. It is a very cheap skin. It's the lowest rarity. It's in field tested. This thing is up 49% in the past year. And again, the Clutch case in the past year isn't one that just went from the active duty to the rare drop. It's been a couple years, but it's still kind of new-ish changed. And you can still see here a random skin that's trade up fodder, that's low rarity, that people are consuming by the tens, is having really, really good fundamentals, and the price is increasing here. This was crazy to me. Now, you can look at another skin. This is the Glock 18 Moonrise. This one is a little bit higher in terms of rarity, so it's not like the very bottom. It's not like the cheapest or the most common or anything like that. And still, Glock 18 Moonrise and field tested. Again, this is kind of a decent looking skin. This thing is up 69% in the past year. So we can see that these skins, I know when people talk about trade up skins, oftentimes they're looking at collections and stuff like that, but also these trade up skins or just these skins from cases that have gone from the active duty to the rare drop pool, these can be big, big, big potential. And you can see here, this is just a couple random skins that I picked out just to look, and all of them have done very, very, very well. Now, of course, we also have the trade up skins from collections that I think people know, are pretty good investments as well. You have the MP9 Army Machine. This was over the past couple years a really insane investment. It kind of cooled off over the past year, but still up 33%. The MP9 Army Machine in field tested from the Control Collection, which I believe I have pulled up here. It's one of these right here. I think. Let's see. I have it on one of these tabs. Maybe it's going to be the last one. Maybe it's going to be none of these. Yeah, the Control Collection, which obviously trades up to the blue phosphor. You can see it has done very well, 33%. Not as insane as some of the other ones, but still very good. Here we have the PP Bison Seabird. This is from the St. Mark Collection. In the past year, this thing is up 58%. And again, the St. Mark Collection, that's one trading up to the AK-47 Wild Lotus, the MP9 Wild Lily. But these are, discontinued old collections. Here we have the SG553 Barricade, just a random skin that I pulled up from the Norse Collection. This one up 26%, not as insane. Again, not all these are absolutely insane, but they are all, seemingly pretty good gains. The Norse Collection is trading up to a lot of cool stuff. The Opgungnir, the P90 Astral Yarmungandr, the Flame Yarmungandr, the Emerald Yarmungandr, lots of cool stuff here. And again, you can seemingly just pick out some of these lower rarity skins, and they seem to have pretty good returns. Here we have something else. This is going to be the Tech 9 Phoenix Chalk. In the past year, this thing is up 50%. This is from that Havoc Collection. And again, the Havoc Collection is not even that crazy. This is just the AK-47 X-Ray, the Opsilk Tiger. None of these skins are that insane, but still, these discontinued collection skins. Now, I know when I've talked about this previously, people want to be like, oh, well, the liquidity is not exactly amazing. You have to be careful. You can't always sell a ton. Sometimes you can't buy a ton. Sometimes you can't sell a ton. And yeah, those are things to keep in mind. But I'm not even necessarily saying that you should buy skins from the Havoc Collection or the Control Collection or whatever because, maybe it's too late. Maybe these have already seen their gains. Maybe the time for these has already come and passed. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't use the past and history to see what things have done so insanely well. Again, there's so many people right now that are investing in knives and gloves and active duty cases and random skins and whatever, when really the numbers and the historical data show you guys that cases are an amazing investment, and low rarity, very common skins from discontinued collections and from rare drop pool cases do insanely well. And I think a lot of people, so many people, even myself included a couple months ago before I started diving a ton into these numbers, really underrate how good these skins do in terms of investments. Now, is it a pain in the ass to buy a huge number of these? You have to find a huge number of these. You have to buy a huge number of these. You have to put them into storage units. You have to hold on to them for a long time. You have to reap the whole rewards. It takes a lot of time. Is it way easier to just buy one expensive skin or one expensive knife or one expensive pair of gloves? Yeah, it is way easier to do that, but the rewards are not the same. The gains that you see for stuff in the lower rarities and the stuff that actually gets used for trade-ups and stuff that actually has decreasing quantities, because the stuff at the top, you won't see those quantities decreasing. The Gungnir, that doesn't have a decreasing quantity. That is actually increasing quantity, even for a discontinued collection, because as people trade up to it, the number is going to be increasing, even if it's only a slight amount, even if it's a very low amount, whatever. Still, those lower things, when it costs 10 of them to trade up, 10 of them are being wiped off of the face of the earth forever. That gives it very strong fundamentals, and it's old, and it's discontinued. It just has so many good things going for it. And same thing with those rare cases. Obviously, with rare cases, there are still some cases getting dropped and open, so some of those are still being added to the game. But again, when you are trading up and removing 10 at a time, and usually when people do trade-ups, they're not just doing one. Someone might do 5 trade-ups or 10 trade-ups or 100 trade-ups or whatever. Think of how many skins are getting wiped out. You can see why this goes so good. Now, again, you can use this not necessarily to go buy any of this other stuff, but you can keep in mind that, hey, once we get the next active duty case, whether it's Fracture that gets removed or whether it's Recoil that gets removed and go to the rare drop pool or whatever, maybe you want to pick up some of those skins. Maybe some of the skins, the trade-up skins from either Fracture or Recoil or whatever goes to the rare drop pool next, will end up being a really insane investment. If the Gallery case ever ends up getting discontinued, maybe some of the skins from the Gallery case will end up being some really insane investments. Maybe some of the skins from the collections that we have in the armory right now, stuff like the Sport and Field or the whatever they're called, I don't even know at this point, it's been so long, the graphic design, the Overpass collection, you have opportunities to maybe be picking up some of those skins. Maybe those are going to be great investments. I don't know, but again, I think really for me, cases are the best overall investment in all of CS2, and lately I've been thinking more and more that the very next tier down, the very next level, is probably trade up skins from rare drop pool cases, especially cases that have just newly gotten added to the rare drop pool, and discontinued collections. To me, that is probably my second favorite. And when I'm looking at numbers and charts and graphs and historical data and historical returns and stuff like that, it really seems like the number 2 to me. And I think for a lot of people, they wouldn't necessarily guess or rate stuff like this that highly. You know, some people understand, some people get it. It's not like a totally secret. It's not something that I would just discover or anything like that. But I think people are drastically sleeping on it. And maybe in 2025, you want to make it your goal to add some more trade up skins from either discontinued collections or rare drop pool cases to your inventory, to your portfolio, and see if it helps out your gains in 2025. I don't know. That's what I'm going to be doing this year. I'm going to see how it helps out my gains. But from everything I see so far, pick a random skin, look at it over the past year or 6 months or whatever, and it seems like they always have some crazy gains. And to me, it makes sense as well. I'm not just looking at charts and being like, oh, this thing did insanely well. I'm also looking at the fundamentals. The fundamentals make sense. The historical returns make sense. I get it. Maybe you guys will too. I don't know. Pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.